Okay, today let's talk about gesture drawing, gesture line drawing, gesture type drawings, the loose quick studies. Hopefully you've had a chance to practice the hit go hit with the arcs and the waves and the ellipses and the circles, and you're understanding what it means to make strong, deliberate, confident lines. So let's talk about some different sorts of gesture type drawings that loosen us up, that build confidence, that get rid of some of those inhibitions when it comes to drawing, that uptight nature we have when we try to do something like this. What is a gesture drawing? It's a quick study, right? It's to establish proportion and scale, but we're not worried about accuracy right away. We're going to record movement. If we're drawing from the figure, we just want to kind of get the essence of that movement. And there it is, to capture the essence. And number 5 there is you were willing to sacrifice some accuracy for attitude. What does that mean? Let's find out. George Baselit's drawings here, you see them, he's known for these upside down drawings. They're not perfectly proportioned. I wouldn't call them academic sorts of drawings, but they're done in such a confident, deliberate way that they still are really interesting, intriguing drawings. And this is what we're talking about. Look at another couple of drawings. These are just ink. And he's known for these kind of upside down drawings of figures and heads and that sort of stuff. And this is a technique a lot of times. We'll draw things upside down because it forces us to see things in a different way. More George Baselit's here. Great, just kind of confident, deliberate, fun drawings. All right. The first technique, I guess, whatever you want to call it, technique or process or whatever, in terms of loosening up and building confidence, is to do blind contour or continuous line drawings. And what is a blind contour drawing? Blind contour drawing is where you put the drawing instrument on the surface of the paper or the drawing surface, whatever it is you're drawing on, or whether it's a paintbrush or a pencil, and it never leaves the surface. The catch is, when you draw from an object, you can only look at the object. You cannot look at the surface of the paper. So you just got to kind of connect your head and your hand and go with it and let all the weird things that happen along the way just happen. They're short 1 to 2 minute quick studies. And they're going to look something like this. They're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be beautiful at the same time. So we want to be confident and deliberate with how we do that. There's an image of Henry here doing a blind contour. You can see the swift and deliberate motion with his hand there. It's a blur. Here's some more blind contour drawings. They have a definite, distinct feel to them. So the pen, the pencil, whatever it is, it hits the surface. It never leaves the surface. But we don't look at the surface of the paper we're drawing on. We only look at the object. And that is blind contour. We will also do some continuous line drawing, and I'll show you examples. I'll do this as a demo here in a second. Continuous line drawing is where the drawing instrument hits the surface of the paper or the drawing surface, and then it never leaves the surface again. It has to stay down. You don't pick it up and stop and start. But with a continuous line drawing, you're allowed to look at your drawing surface along with looking at your object. And you want to look hard at your object, and you want to be deliberate and, again, confident with how you draw the line. But you want to stay loose. You want to let all the so-called flaws happen, because they're probably going to be the most beautiful part of the drawing. Again, these are short 1 to 2 minute drawings. And they're going to look a lot like this. But you're going to have a little more accuracy with these because you're going back and forth. You're looking at your page. So you're probably going to get a sense of what it is you're drawing from a little bit more with a continuous line drawing. So let's do a quick demo. Alright, so let's look at a quick demo on a blind contour drawing along with a continuous line drawing. I'm going to do this nappy old shoe right here. I'm just going to set it off to the side. You won't be able to see it, but that's what I'm drawing from, because I can't fit everything on the screen. But I'm going to be drawing from this goofy little shoe. I'm going to set it off to my left here, force myself to look left, away from my drawing page, my drawing surface. I'm going to set it up in the air a little bit here, And then I'm going to draw from them. Now with blind contour, I'm not going to look at the surface of the drawing paper, right? I'm only going to look at the object over there. Over there. That's where I'm going to look. I'm not going to look here. I'm going to look there and there only. Don't look here. Look there and there only. We're purposely trying to be loose and gain confidence by allowing all our flaws to show and get that movement of our hand and the muscle memory and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take a look at the shoe. I'm not going to look at the surface of my paper, and I'm just going to start with graphite on this one. And I'm going to start to move. I'm looking at the top of the shoe. There's the tongue. I'm going to weave through the shoelaces and then maybe the front of the shoe. Then here's that back part, and here's got this kind of design going on. And these are meant to be quick, loose studies. There's a big shoestring coming down and another shoestring coming down. And there we have a very loose, hopefully you can see it, blind contour. That one's in graphite. I'm going to do one in ink, and I'm going to do it right over the top of this graphite drawing. Same pose here. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to move it around just a little bit here, like it matters. Alright, I'm going to do one in ink now. I'm just using a Sharpie. And I'm going to start with the front of the shoe. The pen never leaves the page. There's the top of the shoe. Shoelaces coming down. Front of the shoe. Maybe this shoelace comes off to the side. This one comes off to the side. Ooh, maybe we'll put some of that design in there from on the side of the shoe. The Vans logo. I'm sure it looks just like what I'm drawing. And there it is. A nice, loose, blind contour drawing. The first one being graphite, the second one being ink. They're going to have this feel to them. Let them be this way. Let the feeling of just letting go and drawing and letting it happen. And that's what a blind contour drawing is. Alright, so we talked about blind contour. Let's talk about some continuous line. For continuous line, we're going to draw from this goofy shoe, and I'm going to add Woody here on the shoe to add a little more texture and, I don't know, interest. It's kind of like drawing from a really stiff figure. Anyway, they're off to the side there. You can't fully see them, but you can kind of see them there. Now, with a continuous line drawing, the instrument hits the surface, the drawing surface, get that out of the way, and then it never leaves the surface, but we're allowed to look at the surface to see what it is we're drawing, but we want to stay loose and double back and repeat the line and all those good things that happen as we're staying loose to draw things, alright? And it's purposely a loose sort of drawing meant to loosen us up. And I'm starting with Woody's head here and his ear, and there's his one eye and his other eye. I'm going to come down here. It's a little more deliberate, but we're just letting things happen. There's his ear. Ooh. And I come back in and I grab these details and I just take the pen along with me. I'm not worried about getting it perfect. I'll do some correcting as I go. And again, these are fairly quick studies. We're not worried about them being perfect or accurate. But the pen stays on the page. Let's get loose with this. Stay fluid. Build that great muscle memory. And just keep the pen. There's the star on his. Keep the pen moving. Here's his other arm. And we've got his hand. Oh, it's coming out like this. Individual fingers. You see how I'm holding. So we're just going to do his upper torso. See how I'm holding the instrument here? I'm not over gripping it. I'm going to come back and get this hand over here. I'm just doubling back. Put a little more detail. So these are short 1 to 2 minute loose drawings. I'm going to reinforce a few lines. And then I'm going to put the little cow patches on here. So again, 1 to 2 minute quick sketches. Get in them, get out of them. There you go. Continuous line drawing. The pen, the pencil, whatever it is you're drawing with, hits the surface, never leaves the surface, and you just keep moving through the drawing.